So hey guys, what's up? My name is Ray, and today's the day that we have an awesome live stream, and starting off a bit sloppy and even a bit earlier than usual. So hang in there with us. But before I even explain, let me introduce the lovely Amelia. What's up, Amelia?
Hi, I'm back. Last week, but as you can tell, I'm in a new location. House. So last week, I really wasn't with John. I was preparing for the big move. So I'm back, and what an episode!
I mean, you could tell them about your secret top mission with Jon Snow. You don't make me out to be a liar. I mean, tell them about how Viserion.
I can't.
Jesus, no, but I mean, like I said, guys, we are starting a little bit earlier today than usual. I'm sorry for that. One, you know, the big fight is later tonight, and that's not the reason I did it personally, but I know that I got messages from people telling me they weren't going to be able to see it because of that. And also I know that I have some stuff I have to deal with. I was going to have to cancel the stream, but Amelia was so great, and Amelia was like, "You know what? We could do it early too." So everybody show Amelia some love for that, you know, for sticking in there, sticking in with me and helping me out here. But again, thank you guys for joining us. Let's see who's in the chat. Shout out to the OG Fame Arcade. Let's see, Tyrion Jr. Landstark, Big E, Sandy Stark, Sam the Narrator. Shout out to Amelia in the chat. There's two different Amelias. There's Amelia who's here with me, and there's Amelia in the chat. So shout out to Amelia in the chat. I don't know. So it's weird starting off so early. I feel like a little bit discombobulated a bit. But before we even start about the episode, I mean, like going into the specifics, what did you think overall about the episode, Amelia?
It was really intense. Gosh, like, where do you start, you know? I mean, really, where do you start? How do you just generalize, like, oh, yeah, it was a good episode? It was super, super intense. And I feel like, obviously, so much has happened in the past week because we've moved, that, for everything that I watched. It was sad. Why do you always put me on the spot like this?
All right, so I'm opening it up. I did not put you in the spot. I was just talking a lot, so I was like, you know what? Let me point it to Amelia. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Amelia, you put a little bit of Amelia in anything, and it goes right. So I was like, let me start off with Amelia, but I'll start it off because I do know that you have had a hectic week. I personally have mixed thoughts about the episode. I think that a lot of people were on the fence on the episode, and a lot of people enjoyed the episode. It's like you're on either side of it, but there's no like middle ground on it. And somehow I fell in that middle ground. I think that the action part in it was cool. It was dope. It was something out of this world for television. I think it was like $20 million that they spent on this episode alone, which is ridiculous. That being said, there were some things that I could have done without in this episode. One being the polar bear. Even though it was cool to see a polar bear, I would have preferred maybe like Ghost go with Jon beyond the wall, or seeing Ghost more throughout the season with Sansa, or like those type of things. So after seeing the inside the episode on the polar bear, I was just like, that just looked like it was something that you wanted to do a long time, and I'm not sure it was worth it. You know what I mean? I don't think that it outweighed taking Ghost out of the whole series for that. So that was weird, and that was interesting. I think that the Winterfell plotline is a little bit iffy. We got to see how it ends, if it ends strong. But for the most part, I know that me and you are always on the opposite sides with Sansa. So that's a bit tricky there. But But what did you think about uh, them wasting all that money on the episode and then kind of hindering the season before it? Like, what did you think about that?
Well, I didn't even think about the polar bear. That was kind of weird. Um, but yeah, we haven't seen Ghost. But like, I mean, I can't go back on what I said, that if I don't see Ghost, I'm happy because that means he's alive. I'm trying to adjust. Like, why does it look so dark? Camera, y'all. Anyway, and I even moved and like in front of the window, and I feel like it looks dark. I mean, I guess I can see where they would have spent $20 million on this episode, but at the same time, I can't. Maybe like 15 million, but I wasn't disappointed in the episode. I liked the dialogue between the characters, especially Tormund and the Hounds. I didn't have any issues with the scenes at Winterfell. I mean, I had issues with the story, but I didn't have issues with Winterfell.
I mean, I like, if I'm to be completely honest, I think that a lot of the stuff that they are doing now seems rushed. And on a regular season, these scenes that they put in here wouldn't seem rushed, right? But like, for example, we see Jon Snow multiple times in an episode. Before, we would maybe only get like one scene of Jon Snow, like one 6 minute scene, or overall like 6 minutes in one episode. Whereas now we're getting probably like 12 minutes of Jon Snow in an episode, and 12 minutes of Daenerys, 18, like all of these characters all together. So, like, I remember when Dany and Jon first met, it was like 12 or 13 minutes when Jon hits Dragonstone and all that. That's a lot of Jon Snow in one episode. And that's not even like, you know what I mean? So I think that kind of gives the perception that it's rushed a bit more, even though the story is extremely rushed, because since we're getting so much from them and they're not giving us like that little wiggle room, that little, good on character development, I think that's why it's coming across as rushed. But I feel that this episode could have been split from Eastwatch. They could have walked. You see all that conversation that we see in the beginning of the episode? I think that they could have put that in the beginning of the episode. I mean, at the end of the last episode, and then continued it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they find the White Walker. They take the White Walker, and then they get stranded on that little island. And then on the next episode, Daenerys comes and all of this. And then, like, at the ending, they could have ended it how they ended it. I just feel that it was kind of too much in one episode. Too many time jumps in one episode to make it, like, enjoyable. Did you enjoy the way that they made the episode jump, or did it affect your watching, or?
It didn't really affect me because I think at this point I'm used to it, how they're handling things. But I do feel like they're saving really good stuff for the end of the episode. And granted, now the good stuff at the end of this episode was lengthier. The train, it seems like we used to have almost like, if it was an epic episode, it was almost that whole episode was epic, and now it's just the tail end of it. But I guess I'm just up, like, it is what it is. Ray, they're saying that you don't have any sound.
All right, there we go. My bad, people. What you call it? The way that I feel is that in previous seasons, let me repeat that, yeah, because I forgot. In previous seasons, we had like the Tyrells, right? We have the Faith Militant, we have Arya and Bravos. We have all these characters spread all over the place. So now that they're all conveying together, you're like, instead of putting more fluff in these episodes, let's just get straight to the chase, right? Like straight to it. And I feel that there's certain things that are missing. Like I said when I was muted, if we could have gotten like an update on the Unsullied, that would have been dope. In episode 4, The Spoils of War, was that Theon went and he wanted to talk with Daenerys. What happened with Daenerys? What happened with Theon? We didn't see Theon in the last episode. We should know what he wants, what he said. What did Daenerys tell him? Like, what is their plan on Yara? We don't have none of that. And I feel that you could have put that in between and give us 10 episodes and 10 episodes next season and spread it out instead of trying to just like action, action, action. But that's just me on that. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit over the top with it.
No, I don't think that you're over the top with it. I think that 6 seasons of 10 episodes and the story has gone a certain way, and then now it's like they want to be done with it. And I feel like even though you have these great moments, yeah, like they give us this dessert and we take it and we love it because we love the story. It still doesn't negate the fact that they're rushing through this, kind of want to be done.
Yeah, I mean,
didn't they know what they were getting themselves in, 10 years ago when they started thinking about this?
And that comes to the whole thing of, we don't know if they even are interested in doing this anymore, right? Because like a lot of people say that they don't know if D&D are like even that invested in it anymore, if that might be the word. Because when you really look at it, D&D are kind of like they're thinking already about what's next. You know what I mean? Like what's next in their future. And they have this great series and they're trying to just get it over with and start that show on the Confederacy, which a lot of people have given backlash to. I mean, like, just focus on what you're doing right now, do it well, and then you could focus on your future endeavors. But for them to do it like how they're doing it, it just seems like a bit odd. And it seems like a lot of the actors, too, they just want to move on to their next projects, which sucks because you have so much build-up to the conclusion of the story that now the conclusion of the story is not going to live up to the hype. Or at least I believe. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself.
I don't think you are.
I mean,
it's unfortunate.
I agree. Like, for example, we have Big E. He says, finish what you started. And I think that's pretty much the best way of putting it, right? Finish what you started, get it done, and do what you got to do. You know what I mean? I honestly don't appreciate that. And I feel that a lot of people are giving George R. R. Martin slack. Like, a lot of people aren't putting the weight behind George R. R. Martin, that he's at fault here. If he wanted the story to be done well, he should have finished those books. Point blank. Like, do you think that George has any blame in it? Or, like, I think he's to blame, number one. Like, I think he's the number one person to blame in all of this.
It's hard to say because you're complaining about 2 people rushing through a project, and then you're complaining about somebody taking their time. That's hard to put, the blame on host when you look at this epic story that he's creating. He can give them as much canon as he wants. Yeah. They can still make a good show.
But, I mean, when you look at it...
But equal for opposite things.
When you look at the story, right? You look at, for example, George R. R. Martin. He wrote this story. He did all the book. Like, I remember I forgot exactly what was the timeline between them, but it's like progressively over the years, he has gotten slower at writing. Game of Thrones and A Clash of Kings, I think it took like 5 years or something. No, it took like 6 years or something like that between those 2 books to write those 2. And then it got to I think they jumped up to like 5, and then it jumped up. This book has gone on maybe I think it's 5 or 6 years, or even 7 years since he's finished the previous one in the story, and he's talking about releasing Fire and Blood, which is the other Targaryen book. Finish what you're doing. Like, this is gonna be what you were going to be remembered for. And to me, it irritates me with George R. R. Martin. And again, a lot of people give him like slack. I'm not gonna give George slack. I feel that he's at fault here because he knows what direction the characters wanted, what he wanted to go with these characters from the start. And even though D&D are making it like a reality, at the end of the day, it's his like masterpiece. It's his, that this is what his name is attached to. And I read earlier that this week that George doesn't watch the show, and then he came out and he said he did. Like, all of these people believe this because he kind of has distanced himself from the show because everybody who watches the show wants to see his ending because they're not going to read the books. So I don't know. I feel like he's at fault here. Let me know, guys, in the chat what you guys think. Do you guys think that George has a lot of fault here? Do you think it's D&D? Like, me and Amelia are talking about it, but I want to see what you guys think in the chat. So let me know. Let me and Amelia know. I don't know. I was about to go on a rant on George R. R. Martin, like legit. Like he makes me pissed. He gets me pissed. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, George R. R. Martin recently has gotten me really upset because I feel that he kind of, I don't know. Like, there's something about the way that he works. It's just like very like, I'll do it when it's done. And a lot of people are like, let him do it. Let him do it when he does it. Like, you know what I mean? It's all good. Nah, bro. Finish your work. Stop going to these award shows, these conventions. Do what you got to do and put the story out there. Part of me thinks that he just wants to finish it, and then like once the show finishes, he sees what went wrong with the show, and then he could just do a better version of the show. Like, I'm not even joking. That's legit how upset I am at George R. R. Martin. But that's just me.
Well, I'm sorry, Ray. I'm just going to sit patiently and enjoy the fact that we have it, because there's nothing we can do about it.
I mean, I see a lot of people are like, look, like, for example, I see Mario Minko. Shout out to Mario Minko in the chat. He says, who wanted 13 episodes, HBO or D&D? HBO wants 100 more episodes of Game of Thrones. They don't care.
Yeah, this is D&D.
This is 100% D&D, and they're using George as a shield. Oh, well, this is the story we have with the characters we have, because that's why they didn't expand on the whole young Griff thing. The whole, like, if they would have put young Griff in the story, they would have made Dorne like it was supposed to be made, and they would have stuck true to the story. They maybe would have been able to wait George out until the next book came out. I honestly believe that. Like, the next book would have came out, but since George is having so much trouble, wrapping the story up, I think that they're like, you know what? Let's just do it our version. And I truly believe that Game of Thrones and the books is going to be totally different. I honestly believe that. I know that a lot of people still believe George's word on, like, the whole, it's going to end the same way and it's just different. I don't know, man. I think that it's going to be a bit different. But I think
that George has an issue that hasn't. I mean, if he had such an issue with the show, then he wouldn't have, pilots to be written. Has an issue maybe he has an issue with D&D, like rushing through it and wanting to be done and not giving it the time that it deserves. Who knows? We'll never know till it's all said and done.
I mean, at the end of the day, George R. R. Martin is not in the best of shape. He's he's getting up there in age, and he gets upset. I know he doesn't like that topic when people bring up his age and his weight, and of course nobody would like that. But I mean, you see this dude, and he's just like, part of me is like, yo, just enjoy yourself, right? Enjoy your hard work, right? Because I would like him to enjoy Game of Thrones the most he can. But commit to either one. If you're not going to be helping the TV show, at least finish the book. And if you're not going to finish the book, finish the TV show. But deliver the story the right way. Make sure it gets out there the right way. Because at this rate, we're not going to get shit. We're not going to get George's vision or, like, a great HBO show. So let's just go back into the episode. Because I'm telling you, I could go on a rant. And I have my own little like Sansa Arya thing coming up now. The next topic. I know that me and Amelia go hard on this topic, so let's see what happens. But let's talk about Winterfell, Amelia. Um, Winterfell was
Okay.
crazy. Winterfell was crazy. We see that Littlefinger is talking to Sansa. We see that he's putting all that like poison in her. He's just like, oh man, he feeds off of this chaos shit, right? And then on top of that, you have this whole dynamic with Arya and Sansa going around. We don't see even Bran in this episode. Bran is MIA. He's nowhere to be seen. What are your thoughts on Winterfell and Arya versus Sansa? I'm interested in seeing what you think about this because it was an insane episode. It really was.
I just don't understand how realize Arya. It looks like she's lost her mind. Sansa, if I was Sansa, I would be scared. Like, how did they not realize that Littlefinger is behind this? And why wouldn't you just say, I found the note in Littlefinger's room? Like, if you said that, fixed. All of it. Go off and be like, oh, you found that in Littlefinger's room. Well,
I mean,
and then just.
I was going to say, I just think that the whole thing is bad communication. I agree with you. If they would just talk, but continue.
I just don't understand why Arya is so upset. Like, I have to understand. I mean, Arya was in King's Landing. Of course, Cersei forced her hand in writing that. And I mean, but Arya's going to get on her high horse and then act like take Sansa's face. Like, it was creepy. Don't understand. I just don't get how they don't see that they're being played.
I'm
family first, dude. Family first.
I mean, you bringing that up. We do get a scene in the trailer for the season that says the lone wolf dies, but the pack survives, and it's Sansa saying it, right? Well, I truly believe that that's going to come up in the next episode because it still hasn't come out. And I also believe that's to show us that the Starks will come together at some point because they are the wolves, right? Littlefinger isn't. That being said, I'm going to defend Arya. And I know this might be a bit controversial for some people. Amelia. But I will defend Arya.
Okay.
And before I start defending Arya, I'm going to get to the chat, and we're even going to take phone calls. But after me and Amelia, we talk on some of these points, we'll then start taking calls and speaking about it. But we're going to tell our points, and then we'll take some calls. And the thing is that I have two screens. So one screen is over here, and the other is, like, on the 90 degrees. So, like, I can't look at the chat always. So my bad if I don't see your comments. But, all right.
And while you're defending Arya, I'm going to go get my computer to, like, plug in. Okay?
All right. Don't worry.
All right, don't worry.
All right, no worries. I'm like on Echo, Amelia. Yeah, all right. So these are my thoughts on Arya and the whole Arya Sansa debacle. This is the way that I see it. Is Arya psychotic? Yes. She's one crazy ass little girl. Don't get me wrong. I totally agree with that. She is psychotic. She's insane. That being said, did Arya not choose the Lannisters over her own family once before, which led to Lady being killed? Yes. This is why Arya doubts her, because at the end of the day, Arya just remembers who Sansa was. Even though I still believe Sansa is who Sansa is, I believe that Arya is seeing Sansa from the past, and she still sees that some of that Sansa is still in there. And I think that she's trying to scare her to keep her in check. I personally think that one, Arya would not, like, harm Sansa, like, kill her. but I think that she does want to scare her and deter her from betraying John. I personally, and I'm gonna get to the chat after, like I said, because I see people are like adding me on the chat. I personally think that she's trying to scare Sansa. All right, are you back, Amelia? All right, yeah. I hear myself like on loop, Amelia, on your end. Oh no, wait. All right, it finished. All right, all right. So I personally think that when she's trying to deter Sansa from actually betraying John, because remember, Arya could see through people. She has that ability she learned from the Faceless Men. She learned that for a reason. I honestly believe that she's trying to deter her from choosing people other than her family again, because once again, when it came down to the whole direwolf situation, Sansa said Joffrey was in the right, and then that led to Lady being killed. So this is what Arya has taken the whole time. Like, her whole thing with Sansa is always like, Sansa wants, she'll do anything to get what she wants. And I guess that Arya has no other way of expressing this. Remember, Arya has been robbed of her childhood. Arya is not a child. Arya is like an element. I don't know how to describe it. She's like an element. She's like her own person. She does these freaky things. She doesn't know like social norms anymore. We see that Hot Pie even says like, "What happened to you?" But what happens when she leaves? She tells Hot Pie like, "Take care. Like, don't get yourself killed." She still cares about who she cares about, but she cares about him because she once knew that he was a good person. Like, she doesn't know who he is now, but she still cares about him. So the same I feel with Sansa. I feel that she's just trying to protect Jon because she knows that Sansa would actually use that whole bastard thing against Jon. That's just me personally. What are your thoughts on that, Amelia?
I still don't understand, though, why you wouldn't just try and talk it out with, like, family. Why are you going to try and keep her in check like that? So you're going to act like a crazy person and to keep her in check?
Hell yeah.
Is that really the most effective way?
Fuck yeah. Yo.
It's communication.
Yo.
No, it's not.
Yo. I'm not even going to joke. I have older cousins of mine. I have, like, younger cousins that when they, like, I don't want to sound, but, like, when you come up on them and you press them, you're like, yo, don't do this. This is not good. And you come up, like, a little bit aggressive. They come and they chill out a little bit more easier than, like, for example, if you go, like, easy, like, oh, yo, this isn't good. Like, even kids, when you talk, if you tell a kid not to do something and you're smiling when you tell them not to, they'll probably listen more to you if you say it with a stern, serious face, like, this is bad, don't do this, then this is bad, don't do this. You know what I mean? Like, they'll take it as a joke. And I think that Arya is telling her, like, look, Arya threatened Sansa, but she also let her, like, when she hands her that dagger, that's like a way of saying, like, look, I could do it, but I won't. I could get away with it. I could take your face and beat you. But look, I still won't do it. Like, nobody would find out that I did this to you, but I still won't do it. To me, that's her telling her, like, don't do what I think you want to do. Because Arya didn't ask anything, like, to betray Sansa or just to kill her out of spite. She thinks that Sansa is a bad person. So even though I do think that Sansa needs to talk with Arya, both of them need to talk with each other, and I think that they will in the upcoming episode. I think that's where Bran comes in. I still think that they need to figure that Sansa needs to be kept in check because Sansa is very ambitious. Like, I have a question for you though. Do you think that Sansa was in the right saying that Arya should go down on her knees and thank her for saving everybody?
Well, I mean, in that situation, what else is she gonna say? Coming at you and being threatening, and you're the older sister, and she is helping keep Winterfell and those people there. She's the only one worried about food for everybody.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking about food, but she's talking about you could say that from.
She's talking the truth, and because Arya wasn't there, and now Arya's just come home and is acting a fool.
Look,
for saying that.
The Battle of the Bastards.
Because it's the truth.
This is my point of view on the Battle of the Bastards. The Battle of the Bastards was Jon Snow and Sansa getting back their home, right? We could all agree on that. That's what it was. The Battle of the Bastards was the battle for Winterfell, where the Starks wanted to regain their castle and their home. Cool. Jon Snow went into battle. He risked his life in battle over and over again. He tried to save his younger brother, the rightful lord of Winterfell, and Dol, in this battle. Yet Sansa had the Knights of the Vale, held them back, and on top of holding them back, she actually went as far as to wait, or not wait, because they got there when they got there, the Knights of the Vale, cool. But she comes in last minute with the Knights of the Vale, and then she wants to take credit for winning the Battle of the Bastards. When all of Jon's men die, and yes, over a stupidity that he did, but he was trying to save his brother. Like, to me, it's crazy how some people just gloss over that fact. Like, Jon Snow, cool. Sansa won, and ended up winning the battle, but it was because Jon Snow started the battle. If Jon Snow wouldn't have fought, Sansa wouldn't have even won that shit. Like, nobody was going to win that back. Not even the Knights of the Vale probably would have won that back, because there would have been a siege, and then winter would have been there, and they wouldn't have been able to do it. So, that's just my way of looking at it. I think that Sansa, yes, she deserves credit, but not the credit that she thinks that she deserves. Like, I think she's overvaluing it. But that's just me. Tell me
well, that moment, I don't blame her for making that statement.
Really? Why?
Because Arya was acting crazy. Would never say anything like that in front of Jon. Maybe she would never make that claim to fame. But, I mean, her saying it and shooting off, saying something like that, when you've got a crazy sister with a dagger in her hand, like, that wasn't even there, she going to defend herself?
Is Arya wrong for, like, spooking? Or no, the threat was wrong. The spooking, it wasn't. Sansa is not a good person. Sansa... Like, I'm going to ask you this. Do you think that Sansa is a good person?
I don't think she's a bad person.
No, that wasn't the question. Don't spin it on me. Don't spin it on me. The question was, do you think Sansa is a good person?
As much as she knows how to be, yes.
Okay.
All of these kids have messed up lives.
Right.
I mean...
All right. So, look, for example, I see this one guy says here, his name is Hierro Negro, which is black steel. And he says, oh my God. For you to say, oh my God, I'm going to open the phone lines in a minute. But I don't see Sansa 1 as a good person. Sansa has learned from Littlefinger and Cersei, right? Sansa always has her own agenda. Everything that Sansa does is to serve Sansa Stark. Sansa Stark is not someone that is going to risk her life for her family, for her loved ones, for the greater good. That's not Sansa. And anybody who says that Sansa would do that is a liar. Or they're not watching the show. Like, Sansa has continuously chosen her over everybody. And she does that all the time. Like I'm not saying that she's a bad, evil person, but she's not like... And that's what I think Arya is seeing in Sansa. That's why she wants to keep her in check, because she sees that Sansa is not like you see, Jon died for the wildlings. Those weren't his people. They don't follow him, but yet he died for them. We see that Jon ran towards Rickon to save him, right? We see that Arya has basically avenged her whole family. Arya is kind of fucked up in the head, but she at least has like a moral code. I think that Sansa in the books might kill... in the books, she's even sketchier. Like, I feel that Sansa in the books is even a worse person, possibly, than in the show. Like, I just don't get that vibe. I see that a lot of people don't agree with me, and they're on with you, Amelia, but let's do this. I want to see what everybody says here. All right, let's open basically the phone lines. Let's see what everybody says. I could imagine that some crazy people are going to call in right now to rip me a new one, but all right, so guys, call this number right here, and call this number. Let us know, what do you think about the Winterfell plot, Arya versus Sansa, and all that good stuff. Call right now so we can talk about this because I'm very heated about it. I don't know, man. I'm like super. This topic gets Sansa always gets me riled up.
Okay, we've got somebody.
Marco Minko says, "Go home." Yo, trust me. Like, no, that's not what's up. What you call it? You guys call that number and we can talk about it. But in the meantime, let's see. Yo, oh my God.
There's somebody in there typing spoilers.
Who?
Wheat.
Yo, no spoilers in the chat. If you spoil, Amelia deleted the message. If you spoil, you will get banned. I don't play that because that's just malicious. That's not, a funny like, oh, you're watching or you're giving an argument or something. No, if you spoil, you're being malicious, and that's not a cool thing. So I will legit ban you if I catch someone spoiling. So no spoilers in the chat. And whoever is doing it, they keep doing it. All right, so we have.
I put him in a timeout. So.
All right, so we have a phone call. Wait, let's see. Hello, who's this?
Hey, it's Norma. I watch all your videos. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Norma. Hey, what are your thoughts on Sansa and Arya?
Okay, so I think Arya sees right through Sansa.
All right, I agree with you.
And because Arya is the most like Jon.
I agree. I mean, what are your thoughts on, like, let's say, for example, do you think that she was in the wrong for threatening her? Like, because I
think she was playing her. Because Arya's dealt with much worse. Remember, Arya dealt with Tywin Lannister, Harrenhal. She saw the Tickler. Sansa thinks she's been through a lot. Arya has faced life and death many times.
I personally, I'm curious to see your point of view and your thoughts on, do you think that Arya was right to threaten Sansa?
I do, because Sansa's she's been protected. She's never been afraid for her life because she was the High Lady. Now, Sansa's been afraid of other things, like who she's going to have to marry, but she's never been afraid for her life.
I mean, for one thing that I really didn't like, and I think a lot of people are overlooking, is the way that she treated Brienne. Like, I think that was very unfair of Sansa.
No, I think she sent Brienne away because I think Sansa has a bigger plan. I don't think she wants Brienne between the two sisters.
I mean, I agree, because we did see that Littlefinger did point that out. He did point out the fact that Brienne would have to defend the sisters, because she is sworn to both sisters, not just Sansa. But
and Sansa knows that Littlefinger talked Lady Arryn into poisoning her husband, and he killed her. She also knows that he played a part in killing King Joffrey, and she knows that he's played a part in everything. She hasn't put the dots together yet. She knows. So she knows that he's played a part in everything.
Yeah, of course, because she was there at Harrenhal. But one thing that I personally, Norma, before you, we hang up, I personally believe that the Game of Faces will come up with Littlefinger. I think that that's the way that Arya will find out. Possibly, it's either going to be Bran or Arya that, will kind of find out how deep Littlefinger is in everything that's happened to their family and Westeros overall. because it was kind of foreshadowed that, you know, Arya could pick up on lies in the previous episode, and Sansa might want to use
She could be a nuclear weapon.
No, yeah, especially in the Game of Thrones, it's very crazy. But thanks, Norma, for calling in. Thank you again, and thanks for always supporting and watching the channel. All right, bye. I mean, thanks to Norma for calling. Thank you. What do you think about the way that everything went down with Brienne and Sansa?
I didn't really get that. I mean, offense about all that.
You really didn't.
I don't know if that was.
I mean, like the way that I see the whole situation there is, I think that they want to give Sansa wanted to give Littlefinger that little extra wiggle room so that he could feel like relaxed, that he doesn't have like multiple eyes on him, so that he thinks. But again, Arya could pick up on lies. Arya that's one of the things that they are really showing us. So I think that's going to be huge. And I'm sorry for some of you guys, Amelia can't hear you, so that's the only reason I'm talking. But we'll see how we have that fixed out. We have another call, so let's see. Hi, who's calling?
Hi, this is Daphnator.
What was that again?
I'm on there as the Daphnator.
Hi, Daphnator. So what are your thoughts on Sansa and wait, oh snap. All right, so what are your thoughts on Sansa and Arya?
I think they are totally playing Littlefinger. The whole thing is an act because they're trying to cover so his spies will know, or if anybody overhears them, they will think it's completely serious. And I think it's a total setup.
All right, so let's get a prediction out of you. What do you think, and how do you think everything will come to a conclusion in the next episode? I want to know that. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, I think that what's going to happen is number one, they sent away Brienne intentionally so she wouldn't interfere with what they were doing. Excuse me. Also, sorry. Also, I think what they're doing is setting it up so he will make a further move. I think Bran's going to confirm it to both of them that he's been plotting all the way back, and I think they're going to kill him.
I mean,
he's going to get executed.
I really believe that, I think that mostly everybody believes that Littlefinger will die in the upcoming episode. Thank you, Daphnator, for calling. I know we have multiple other people calling in, but thank you again for watching and calling in.
Thanks for taking my call.
All right, thank you. So, yeah, because sorry, guys.
Well, I hope.
Yeah, go ahead, Amelia.
I surely hope that it's a setup, and I'm sorry, I had to remove Toxic Wheat from the thing.
Trust me. Do whatever you feel is right, Amelia. You do it. Like I said, no spoilers.
Well, he said that it was just his opinion, and then he called me a hillbilly inbred face something or another.
Yo,
so I just
don't even give that light. Hello, hi, who's calling? All right, so I guess no one's there. Let's see. Marco Minko says in the chat, Bran has been talking Sansa off screen. I mean, every time that Sansa and Bran are together, it just seems really awkward. And for everyone that was calling in, sorry, I can only take one call at a time, so you guys could call in the next topic. So let's move on to the next topic. And wait, we have one more call. Let's take one more call, and then we'll move on to the next topic. Hi, who's calling? All right, who's calling? Hello? All right. Yeah, sorry about that, whoever's calling. So let's move on to the next topic, right? Let's talk about Dragonstone. Because Dragonstone was a bit, out there. We do see that Dragonstone was a bit insane. we see that Dany and Tyrion are talking about the line of succession, how Jon Snow is in love with Daenerys and whatnot. What are your thoughts on Dragonstone and Dany leaving to the north? Do you have any thoughts on that? What was your thoughts about these two scenes that we got on Dragonstone?
Well, can you blame her for leaving? I mean, that was a 911 Raven. Do you know what I mean? Really interesting how John, and then in the same episode, you're talking about the succession of Dany, and twice are mentioned in the episode with her. I found that very interesting. Mm-hmm. No, that's pretty much, that's pretty much it. From Shadowing is what I took away from Dragonstone.
All right.
Paired with other scenes in the episode.
All right, so like I have someone else right here on the call, and we're talking about Dragonstone. So first off, let's start off with who's calling.
This is BD.
What was that?
This is BD.
All right, so what are your thoughts on Dragonstone?
Dragonstone, between Dany and Tyrion.
Yeah, just all of that. What were your thoughts on that?
They have problems right now because all previous plans has been failure. I mean, the Castle Rock one was a failure. With the Rayz was a failure. Also, the plan to go to Beyond the Wall. What's his plan? What's his idea?
Yeah,
he was the one who suggests to go to the Beyond the Wall to get the wife. And now our dragon is dead.
I agree because
There's gonna be an issue.
I was about to say
they're gonna have more issues between them.
I do agree with you, right? Because at the end of the day, like you said, his whole plan was, oh, someone should go get some whites, bring them, and then he's telling her, don't do that. Like, it's a bad idea. It's too dangerous. So why did you suggest that they go up there?
He told Dany, don't do anything. Doing nothing is the hardest thing. And she said to him, I listened to you. I did nothing, and people died. So I had to do it. She had to do it. She had to go and rescue him.
I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. He did kind of set himself up there. I personally think that one of the bigger things that we got in this episode was the continuous Daenerys saying that she couldn't have a child. Did you have any thoughts about that in Succession, or do you have a prediction?
I think that's foreshadowing to between Jon and Dany. They're gonna have a kid.
Yeah,
because,
they hit us over the head with it a lot.
Jorah said about the long claw. This is for you and your children. She said that she can have children. They will have children. Jon has the magic sperm, so
I agree.
They will have children.
But I'm gonna have to cut you off. Thank you for calling again. Thank you for the support.
Welcome.
And hope to see you in the chat.
Hey.
All right, thank you. So I personally found this very interesting, right, Amelia? And I think that I didn't like the whole Jon Snow Daenerys thing. I was always against it, kind of. I felt that it sounded corny or like cheap. Like if it seemed like the easy way to go in it. But I don't know. Over time, I'm kind of buying it. You know what I mean? And it's funny because mostly everybody says that they don't like it. But these videos of Jon Snow and Daenerys looking at each other with this romantic music all over YouTube have like hundreds and thousands of views. So someone's lying. Someone actually enjoys this whole Jon Snow thing. You know what I mean? What are your thoughts about Jon and Dany? Do you have any thoughts on that? I mean, not Jon and Dany, because we'll get to that later. But I mean, what did you think about this whole Tyrion telling Daenerys that Jon Snow is in love with her in Dragonstone? And like, she didn't notice it. She doesn't notice that Jon has the hots for her. Did you have any thoughts about that?
I think that she's playing coy, and I think that Tyrion sees through both of them, and he's just being honest and calling a spade a spade. and she's just gonna play coy about it like a girl would, you know. But no.
I personally,
they're both good people. So even though they're related, worse things have happened, right?
I mean, Cersei and Jaime to me is like the most grotesque version that we've seen of one of the more grotesque versions of incest we've seen on the show, because it's like the brother sister. It's just, but it's like the thing is like it's weird, right? Because at first you like I personally when I saw the first episode of Game of Thrones, I was like, oh shit, like I was like, and they're not gonna get caught, and that kind of hooked me on to Game of Thrones. I wanted to see them get caught, that they were banging each other, because I was like, yo, they have to get caught. And shout out to Big E for calling, you know what I mean? Like I wanted to say that, Big E, thanks for calling. You know, he's one of the long-time OGs on the channel, Big E. So much love to Big E. But
I couldn't tell who he said he was, but it was Big E. That's cool.
Yeah, Big E, man, like a fellow New Yorker. You know what I mean? Mi hermano, thanks for calling. That's my brother in Spanish for those who don't know. But like I said, I just feel that for example, Cersei, we know that the Targaryens have married between family and whatnot, but it was just a bit weird. Like, you know what I mean, the whole Cersei thing, because of how close it was. But Jon and Dany don't know each other. They're the good guys. You could let them, like, you know what I mean, run away with that whole nastiness shit. I just feel that it has to be like, you know what I mean, it has to kind of like be like you know what I mean. Like I think that if Jon Snow knew, he wouldn't do it, and I think if Dany knew, she wouldn't do it either. But we're gonna talk about Jon and Dany a little bit more further, that boat scene. But let's talk about Beyond the Wall. And Beyond the Wall, man, we got a bunch of good stuff. We got, like Big E said, we got that Longclaw scene with Jorah and Longclaw. We got this little stare-off of the Hound when Jon took the rum away from him. We got a white polar bear. We got Gendry, what was it? Whinging? What was it that the Hound said? Whinging? I don't know. We got a whole bunch of shit Beyond the Wall. What was your favorite moment, Amelia, from Beyond the Wall?
What? My favorite?
Yeah, from Beyond the Wall.
About my favorite, where they're just like walking and talking.
And yeah, like your favorite Beyond the Wall moment. I mean, what was your favorite moment when they were talking? All right, let's leave it at that.
Okay, when they were talking, in the Hound. I mean,
who in the Hound? Yeah, you kind of froze up on us there. Who did you say? Who in the Hound?
Tormund and the Hound.
Ah, Tormund. I mean, they were kissed by fire. Like he. I love.
Like, you do know her.
He's like, Brienne of Tarth, the one who will eat your liver, or like cut your liver out and eat it, whatever. I was like, oh man, that shit is genius. It's just hilarious.
And he's like, you do know her.
You do know her. He's like,
you see my Facebook post? I was like, I said I wish that somebody would look at me like Tormund looks at Brienne.
Yo, I want a spin-off show called Kissed by Fire, featuring the Hound and Tormund just traveling the world. That would be hilarious. To me, yo, it was just gold, man. Like that, they did good there. I really enjoyed that. If they would have done like a couple of episodes then Beyond the Wall to get to where we got, that would have been even better. I would have been cool with just seeing Jon Snow and them traveling beyond the wall and not getting to where they got. You know what I mean? If they would have done that, I would have been happy with it, because those scenes were good. We also got, to me, one of the best scenes in this whole Beyond the Wall thing was Beric and Jon, when he tells him that death is the enemy. And I have a video on that. And I have a video on death being the enemy, Bran being death, and Voldemort and Harry Potter. That's all I'm going to put out there. It's a weird mix, I know, Amelia, but you know what? I'm just going to talk a little bit about it here. You've seen all the Harry Potter movies, right?
Yeah.
Like, you see that Harry Potter has a link with Voldemort, correct?
Yeah. I'm not as well versed in Harry Potter as I am other nerdy things.
No, but I mean, so you see that Harry Potter and Voldemort have this link through that whole Horcrux thing. I feel that Bran and the Night King have a similar link, and it may be coming from the marking or whatever, but I think that Bran at the end of the story has to die. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that Bran has to die at the ending due to his link with the Night King. Similar to how Harry had to die so that Voldemort could later die. And if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, and if you haven't, too bad, my bad, people. Like, I mean, if you haven't seen Harry Potter at this point. But I think that similar link that they had, that Harry had to die to kill Voldemort, I think that there's something similar there. I have a video detailing it a little bit more that I'm working on. I just wanted to wait till the last episode airs so I could have that out as soon as possible. But do you see any similarities maybe between Bran and Harry Potter and Voldemort and the Night King? I don't know. Or am I just going crazy there? What are your thoughts?
No, I mean, I think you might have something there.
Harry 420 Potter. So what? I mean, I see that Lola Dixie. Shout out to Lola Dixie, who like shows love on all my videos. Thank you. Yeah, I think that it would be dope because we see that Voldemort goes into Harry's mind, right? He kind of messes with Harry a little bit. I think that there's something similar there with the Night King and Bran. But like I said, I'll have the video out detailing it a little bit more down the line. But that whole conversation with Beric and John, I really enjoyed it. I think it was really dope. It was really deep. The whole death is the enemy, death always wins. Because we're thinking about John and them fighting death, the White Walkers. But at the end of the day, all of them are going to die. Like, none of them are immortal. So that was pretty dope. That was awesome. I really enjoyed that. Let's move through these a little bit more quicker now. But I did a video, and I know a lot of other people believe it as well. Because, like, when I released my video, I did my video, like a day or two before I even released it. In my video, I say that I believe that it was a trap. It just seemed like what everybody believed and perceived to be plot holes. It must have been a trap. The Night King was too prepared. What did you think about the Night King? Do you think that it was a trap, Amelia?
I don't know if it was a trap. They didn't, D&D didn't talk like it was. I just think that the Night King was way to the wall. So I don't know if I believe that he knew that there were dragons. I mean, he's got a lot of power, but I don't know that I would give him that powerful. Then this game is lost. Like, everybody's going to turn into a white. That's how I feel. Like, I think that
what was that?
I don't know.
At the end, I see a question here. Let me answer this question from Marie first before I continue. Marie says it was about Beric. She says, do you think Beric will bring back a Stark from the dead? Amelia, do you think that we'll have a Stark being revived by Beric, like in the books, with the kiss of fire? That's what they called it in the books, right? Kiss of fire, I believe.
Is it the kiss of fire or kiss of
kiss of life? I don't know. I remember it was kiss of something because it was with Lady Stoneheart.
If he had that power, he should have kissed the dragon.
What? You just gotta be like Viserion and just dive back in it. Like, I just think that that's funny. I mean,
yes, it happens in the book, but sure. I mean, maybe. I've never thought of that.
I mean, I personally, it would be funny though. Could you imagine that, like I said, Bran were to die, or Bran has to die, and then Beric revives Bran? That would be like identical to Harry Potter. Because remember, in Harry Potter, he had the stone that Dumbledore had left him, so that he could come back to life after he's killed by Voldemort. You forgot? You don't remember? No.
Better.
But basically, Harry in the books has to die, and once Harry dies in the books, he's brought back by a stone. If that were the case, let's say, for example, Beric were to revive Bran, that would be basically identical to Harry Potter. But I don't know. I think that he might do it. For some reason, I think that they're saving Beric in the story. Because if not, if they just wanted someone with a flaming sword, they could have left Thoros, which is a fire priestess. It looks like Melisandre might bring some more fire priests back to Westeros because she left for Volantis. So I personally think that he might actually do something like that. He might, but because I think that they're saving the character for something more important, like something big. I just don't know what. I can't put my finger on exactly what yet, but I definitely think he might bring someone back. But back to the whole trap thing of it all. I think that it definitely was a trap. One, you have the chains, right? The chains, I forgot, my bad, Amelia. I forgot to change the camera off of you. I know that Amelia looks straight at the camera. She's just like, I know that, for example, why did they have the chains ready, right? Then you look at, why did he kill Viserion specifically? You also look at, why didn't he throw the spears directly at Jon Snow and them? If the Whites could swim and go underwater, or the White Walkers could, why didn't they just cross the water, like just swim and just overwhelm Jon Snow and them, right? This all to me indicates that he was waiting for that dragon. He knew that dragon. We continuously hear that dragons are magic. They're fire made flesh. They have magical aspects of it. The Maesters want to get rid of them. I think that he knows about the dragons. Remember, dragons were around the world when the Night King was a human being. He knew about these things. So he was probably waiting for anybody with a dragon. Like, you know what I mean? If we're to think, let's say, for example, that he didn't know about dragons. No, the Night King hasn't passed the wall in thousands of years. So I definitely think that he was expecting some type of dragon. Not maybe Dany's dragons, but he was expecting dragons to come eventually. And he probably just set this up like this bait. He probably sees like the Valyrian blood in Jon Snow, or the Targaryen blood or something. I think that there is something there. I see Hierro Negro says, which is, again, Iron Steel, says, because the show is poorly written. I don't know who Black Iron is, but he is very, very harshly opinionated. But it could be...
You know, when he doesn't like what you have to say.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, like, I feel like he's very aggressive with... But I disagree. I think that it could be that it was poorly written because, D&D are rushing the hell out of the show. But I do believe that there is an open possibility that it could have been a trap. And I'm not the only one that believes this. So you, Amelia, let's say if you had to give a percentage, how much do you believe that it could be a trap, or that you don't think it could be a trap?
I'll give you 35, maybe 35% that it was a trap.
Wow, you're really like that. I don't know, man. I think that it's just like so many. I do believe that it's like the plot holes, maybe, because to say that it was a trap is giving D&D a lot of credit. Like, right? I do believe that it's giving them a lot of credit, but for some reason I just have to hope that it's that. Like, I'm being optimistic and hoping that it was a trap, but that's just me. If you guys have any thoughts on that, or Black Steel or Hierro Negro, again, if you want, let's take some questions. Do you want to let me take a phone call, Amelia?
He can call in. I mean, and if he thinks it's a lame show, then I don't know why he's watching it.
I mean, no, he could call in. Like, Hierro Negro, call that number right there. It's a United States number. It's a New York number. So if you could call, just call that number and we could talk. You know what I mean? Like, I won't probably, allow you on the stream, but you could call in and we could talk about it. You could give me your opinions, and I'm more than open to hearing everybody. Because I know that not everybody agrees with me. I wouldn't ever believe that. And I like people that don't agree with me. Like, you don't see that me and Amelia are, like, totally opposite ends of the whole Sansa thing. So that's why I enjoy having, diversity. I enjoy our Amelia and me butting on Sansa, even though I think Amelia doesn't. Like, Amelia's over it. Are you, Amelia?
Me? No, I keep thinking that I'm hearing my cat like dying back in the other room. Not this cat, the other cat.
What you're hearing right now on my end, I think, is Mr. Smoothie.
No. It's at my house. There's a cat.
But again, if you guys have any thoughts on Beyond the Wall and the Trap, call that number and we could talk about it. We could, discuss it a little bit, have some fun on it. I thank you, Marie. I do agree that I think I could do maybe a better job than D&D this season in spreading out the story and writing the scripts. Let's see.
I think that there are a lot of. I mean, if that's the case, there are a lot of, in corners that have been cut for sure.
I think that they have kind of trimmed it down a bit. All right, so we have a caller. Let's see. Hi, who's calling? All right, wait. Give me 1 minute. All right. Hi, who's calling again?
Hey, Rayz, it's me, Fame Arcade.
Hey, my brother, it's
Hey,
Fame Arcade. Oh my God.
What's up, man? How's everything?
Chilling, bro. Damn, it's really cool. It's really cool to have a voice to the name. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I was just wondering. I was getting a bit jealous. I thought I need to call in and talk to Bay.
Yeah, man.
Why should you only get the what?
What happened?
No, to me.
No, but
Can you hear me?
I can't wait for the finale. I really do think that Arya and Sansa are, they've got an alternative motive. But we can only wait and see until what that alternative motive is. But yeah, I mean, I really do think that there's something going on there.
I mean, I think that there, with the whole Arya and Sansa thing, I think that there is something a little bit out of the ordinary there that we haven't seen on screen, and I think that D&D don't know how to put it out there, make it happen without making it look obvious. But I have a question for you, Fame. Do you think that it was a trap Beyond the Wall?
The thing is, I think it was, because if you see in one of the pictures, the Night King, he's holding 3 spears, and that's a really big coincidence for him to be holding specifically 3 spears, and there being 3 dragons. So I mean, I think the way Bran has abilities to see over the wall and see things that are to come, I think somehow the Night King has got some sort of those abilities. He knew somehow that Dany was going to come to the rescue and come with 3 of her dragons. I don't know how he knew it, but I do suspect that he knew something was going on there.
Yeah, definitely. I know that Amelia cannot hear you right now, so sorry for that.
I can hear him.
No, I mean Amelia could hear you, but you can't. Basically, he can't hear you, Amelia, because he's basically calling on the phone.
Hello.
So Amelia says hello, Fame, and thanks again, bro, for calling in.
Hi, babe. How are you?
Hi. Hi.
All right, so he can't hear you, Amelia, right away, but thanks for calling in, Fame. You know what I mean? It's really awesome to hear the voice again. Thanks for the support, brother.
No worries, matey. Hope to talk to you soon. Take care.
All right,
man. Everyone in the chat.
All right, thanks, man. See you in the chat. That was dope. I really like.
I'll have to. He'll get to see that I talked to him when he watches it back again. I'll have to watch. Now I've been so busy this week because we moved. I'll have to. I mean, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll watch the episode again. I'll watch your video again, and address, and we'll resume at a later date.
All right, so we have like 2 more topics, and we could do these 2 quick. Um, let's talk about Dany and Jon Snow, completely, like fully, everything. Dany and Jon Snow. One, are you buying the whole Johnny and Dany, Johnny and Dany, Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen relationship? Are you buying into this whole thing?
Yeah, I'm buying into it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, give me 1 minute. Now I have someone on the phone that just called in. What happened? All right, give me 1 minute. Wait, Amelia, let's take this call and then we could continue. All right, so who's calling in?
Who's calling? Who's talking there?
Yo, no cussing, no cussing. Let's keep it PG. Let's keep it decent. You know what I mean?
What the?
All right, I don't know who that was. It accidentally fell. You know, we gotta keep it PG, people. Let's keep it nice. Let's keep it simple. Before you know, you get my channel taken down for anything, you know, out of the ordinary. But all right. So, what did you think about? You said you buy into the whole Dany and Jon thing. Let's first talk about it, and then we'll take the next call. What are your thoughts? Do you think that one, this whole episode we're hit over the head with the whole child thing, that Daenerys can't have children, and Jon, the sword is to give to his children. What do you think about it? Do you think they're gonna have a kid? Do you think that they will end up together? What are your thoughts about it?
I don't know. You know, long run, happily ever after, because that's just not what the show is about. I do think that there is a high possibility that they could have a child. I think that there was a lot of foreshadowing in this episode. Wasn't it Eva who sent us her, only death can pay for life? And she's lost one of her children now. So, high probability, I think that at some point she will become pregnant. Now, whether the child is born, you know, I mean, I would like for it to be born. But whether they live this happily ever after life, that's probably not going to happen. Joe sent me a theory of his, which I really, really liked, that they do have, Jon and Dany do have a child. Jon dies, you know, Azor Ahai, saving the world. Dany passes away in childbirth, and this entire story is told by Sam, Song of Ice and Fire, told to Jon and Dany's child. He's telling story.
I mean, that sounds like a very, very nice, you know what I mean, story, but it still would make me mad because it is bittersweet, you know what I mean? But it sounds nice on paper, but I don't know, like I feel that I don't know, like I feel that a lot of people in the community have kind of gone astray with the whole things are being too predictable thing, right? Like all right, yes, the show could be predictable right now, but just because it seems predictable doesn't mean that it's, because like for example, you see that everybody was expecting Tormund to die. This is an example. Everyone was expecting Tormund to die beyond the wall, right? If Tormund wouldn't have died, if Tormund would have died in that episode, guess what? Tormund dying would have been predictable. So people are upset because the show is, oh no, it's predictable because Tormund didn't die. But no, I legit thought he was going to die when, you know, when everything went down. You know what I mean? So I
was really surprised that we technically only lost one. We lost Thoros. I mean, I thought we were going to lose more.
I mean, just Thoros, and not even, we lost Viserion, Thoros. I think people wanted just Jon Snow to live out of all of those characters. Like, if you before the show are expecting that, and that doesn't happen, that means that whatever you expected was predictable. Like, you know what I mean? If that would have happened, a lot of people were like, yeah, I predicted that all of them were gonna die. It wasn't unpredictable. Like when they saved Tormund, I was like, oh shit. I was like, yeah, because I wasn't expecting Tormund to live.
I thought he was a goner, and I was very happy that he didn't die. And
Exactly.
people are in the. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could definitely hear you.
So they're in the, you know, going back, I'm just reading the comments, going back to John and Danny, and Marie says that they're rushing it too much, that they barely know each other. I mean, yeah, everything's being rushed. I accept John and Danny because it sort of is what it is. I mean, in previous live streams that we've done, I voiced my opinion on how I felt about John and Danny, that it wasn't going to be my favorite thing that was going to happen, but I accept it. And that it's easier to accept from John's perspective because he does have such a good soul than it is when you're watching Danny. I've said it before in previous live streams. Danny will, you know, she'll take a bed mate beneath her, but that is beneath John. So I buy it more from John than I do from her, but it is what it is at this point.
Probably all day because it was all leading up to that. But the one thing I have to give props to D&D on was the Beyond the Wall thing. Like everybody was trying to parallel that to the Last Hero thing where the guy goes north with, I think it's like 7 people or whatever, and only he makes it out. Everybody thought there was going to be mass casualties or just John surviving. And I get, that's the one thing I gave them props to about the episode is that they didn't go with what everybody thought was going to happen, you know. And I think that without putting them down too much, I think the whole season as a whole was a little rushed. I think just with the time left, I can understand how they're making John and Danny pretty much come to this, you know, conclusion that they're coming to in this small amount of time because we don't have, you know, multiple seasons left for them to develop a love for each other or whatever the case may be. So I mean, I give them a little, you know, a little leeway on that. But yeah, I really thought the way they did that with nearly Thor's dying, you know, they had to get rid of some people. So I mean, they did. In my mind, they did good with the, you know, at least making most of them survive. But yeah, the John and Danny thing, I think we've all that's going to come to, you know, at least if they don't end up together alive, they're going to come together somewhat. And with the whole her being able to have offspring again, be able to bear a child, I think it goes back to the Mary Mad's daughter thing where it says only death can bring life. And like she talks about her dragons being her children. So she just lost one of her children. So that probably is the catalyst for her to be able to bear a child again, I think, anyways.
I mean, I definitely, Amelia brought that up earlier too. I think that there is something there, because we know that in the books, it seems like she's having a menstrual cycle again, right? So I think that it eventually will come down to that Daenerys could have children. But even back to the predictability of it all, I agree with you. I am glad that they didn't go the route that everybody was expecting of The Last Hero, the 12 companions, because it was the exact number, 12 companions. And we know that The Last Hero, his dog died, his companions died, and everybody was expecting that. But guess what? Could you imagine that in the next episode, Cersei somehow gets rid of like a bunch of characters? Like the lack of all these characters dying just makes it even more probable that one of these unexpected episodes, or even this season finale that's coming up next, could be that episode. Because last season, nobody was expecting Marjorie Tyrell to die. Everybody was like, oh, she might kill, like, you know, 1 or 2 of the Tyrells. But the whole family almost, nobody was expecting that. But I do agree with you, Tony, and thanks for joining us. Thanks for calling in. It's always a pleasure, brother.
Yeah, man, always a pleasure, man.
All right, thanks, man.
Yep.
So what did you think, Amelia? Do you think that, like, that kind of heightens the stakes maybe for the next episode? Do you think we might get a lot more deaths?
I don't know if we're going to get a lot more deaths next episode. I think that we're going to see most of these people carry over to season 7, and then we're going to get a lot of deaths.
Like every episode of death, or just in one episode, we're gonna get like 20 people dead.
No, you can't thin out the herd too. You can't thin out the herd too much because then you don't have a cast for the last season.
I mean, I agree. I think that in the long run, it probably might make the because we really haven't had a major death since Tywin. Shit, you could even be maybe even the Red Wedding. That was like one that everybody was like really heard about. But we also have another call. Let's take in this call and then we'll move on to the last topic. Hi, who's calling? Who is that? Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was. So let's move on to our next topic. Let's move on to our next topic, and we have Viserion, right? A lot of people wanted to see an ice dragon by the end of the season, right? And we see that by the end of the episode, yeah, all right, the Night King kills Viserion. He brings him out of the water. It's just really crazy-ish, right? What are your thoughts on Viserion being revived as basically the Night King's mom?
His death, first off, the arm on that man to throw that spear, that ice spear, and to hit him, and that, I mean, time, and I said this, you know, like before, train episode, like when the horse lost his leg, when Drogon got, you know, hit with the scorpion, and then when Viserion gets hit with the spear, like, feel it's hard to watch.
Yo, that screech that Viserion like made, oh my god.
Yeah.
I want to know how the hell they did that noise.
It's really hard to watch. I want to know what, because we know that the swords, so they have these ice spears. What about them is so special that it can kill a dragon? I mean, obviously it's their version of Valyrian steel or dragon glass, but I'd love to know more about, and question for you. Do you think that this dragon to breathe fire or ice?
Like, off the top of my head, I was like, you know what? It is going to breathe fire. Initially, I thought, right? But after watching the episode again, like, we know that blood is like a very, very strong thing for like the Lord of Light. Like, you know what I mean? And just the way that they made it look so gruesome of that dragon bleeding the hell out, because it, like, yo, there was blood up in that bitch. Like, that shit was bloody as fuck. Like, I think,
and
like,
he burned. He burned.
He exploded. It looked like he imploded a bit, right? Like,
yeah.
I think that him losing all that blood, and someone had brought it up in one of my videos, that he didn't just rise and like revive him, he touched him. You know what I mean? And if you recall, who else did he touch? He touched the baby. So maybe it's a different type of reanimation or awakening. Maybe he's turning the dragon into like an ice dragon, like a legitimate ice dragon. I'm curious as to seeing I'm curious as to seeing, like, I think that it's going to be ice. I think that it's going to be an ice dragon. Like, it's going to be a dragon white, but I think it will, like, release, like, cold air or, like, a blizzard or a storm. Like Superman. Like, you see how Superman has, like, his wind? That's what I think is going to happen there. Because it was just, like, insane how much blood that was, like, taken out of that dragon. Like, it was really crazy. Like, I was shocked. I was like, damn. Like, is that all blood? It was insane. Like, I don't think I could get over how much blood that dragon lost before dying.
But so here's this was my thought process. Like, the Night King stepped through dragon dragon fire, right?
Yeah.
Throw the spear. There is fire, leftover dragon fire at his feet.
Yes.
Seem to be affected by it. Yet, whatever his little magical ice weapons are, clearly affects dragons.
I mean,
Dragon fire. If dragon fire doesn't affect him, he's got these magic ice weapons, and now he has a dragon. Breathes ice. Obviously, and you have two other dragons that are breathing fire. Fire is going to melt ice. I mean, I don't understand the point of an ice-breathing dragon. Magical ice, like his weapons. And it just seems like it's building up to show us that, like, the Night King really, like, can't be destroyed unless it's literally Valyrian steel or dragon glass. Because dragon fire didn't bother him.
I mean, I think that it's going to be interesting. I honestly think that it's going to be like ice. Because like you said, that weapon, it is interesting to see what those White Walker weapons are made out of. Because we see that they seem to be kind of made out of ice. Because they break into ice when they're hit with either obsidian or Valyrian steel. But when their sword hits Valyrian steel, they seem to go head to head. It's like, you know what I mean? One doesn't break the other. So I think that that is extremely interesting. I don't know. I think that down the line we will see it, of course. But there is something that Lola Dixie said, and I said this in one of my videos as well. You remember that flashback that Bran had, that like vision that we see a dragon flying over Dragonstone? Do you think that that's Dany arriving to the summit, or do you think that there is any possibility?
You mean the King's Landing?
Yeah. Do you think there's any possibility that might be the Night King, or do you think that it's just Dany? I think it's just Dany, but boy, would I love it to be the Night King crashing that summit.
I think it's Dany.
Yo, if the Night King were to crash that summit, that would be awesome. Shout out to Lola Dixie again. Yo, like, we know that basically the Night King has his dragon, but nobody else knows that he has it. Like, I would want to at least... It's funny, my brother Alan was telling me about how he thinks the season is going to end, right? And my brother was like, he thinks that the season is going to end, that the dragon gets on the wall and just roars off the top of the wall. Like, while the Night King is mounted on the dragon, he's just going to roar on top of the wall. Like, do you think that's how the season might end? What are your predictions? So let's just jump ahead to predictions and some questions. We'll take some questions from the chat and, you know, basically end it. But what are your predictions for the next episode? Let's make it even more simple.
You know, we've got this summit, but I think that I think that the Night King will Westeros.
You think he'll get to Westeros, like, up to where in Westeros?
I mean, no, not like to the summit. I think that he's gonna
run past the wall.
Gendry can... All King's not far behind, and now
you're kind of breaking up there.
We hit.
Yeah, sorry for that, guys.
Right. I don't know what's going on. But I said if Gendry can run watch, then in that amount of time, then the Night King is gonna get to the wall in no time because now he has a dragon. So I think we'll see that.
Like, to me, would be like, if it's like how my brother said. My brother was like, we're gonna see the army of the dead running or walking towards like the wall, kind of like when we saw Samuel Tarly at the Fist of the First Men. And then we're gonna see the dragon fly, kind of similar to how Daenerys was flying with the Dothraki, and then the dragon is just gonna land on the wall and screech, ah, and then like that's where it's gonna end. That's what my brother said. And then I was like, you know what? That sounds actually kind of dope. I was like, I could fuck with that. So I kind of enjoyed it. I think that would be dope. It's not very definitive, like, you know what I mean, what happens, or like, you know what I mean, we don't see anybody die or anything, but it's like we ended with Jon dying. We ended up with with Cersei. Oh no, we ended up. Jon died season 5. Season 6, Daenerys on the boat, and then season 7 we end with the Night King finally coming. Because the hashtag that they've been putting around is "Winter is here," and in one of the promotional materials, we see the Night King's pupil has like that. You can see the wall in it. So I definitely think that could be happening. We have a question, Amelia. And it says, do you guys want, it comes from Sandy Stark, and it says, do you guys want a bloodbath in the next episode?
No.
Do you want a bloodbath?
I don't want a bloodbath. No, I want a freaking vision, because we haven't gotten one yet. And yeah, I mean, I want more of Bran. I want Bran to utilize his powers, because he's really been nothing but
a creep
stump right now. And I want 3 more episodes.
I mean, I would have wanted 3 more episodes, correct? Like, I'm telling you, this last episode should have been stretched out and given us a little bit more, you know, like garbage.
Yeah, they could have done 10 episodes easily.
But let's see what the chat says. We see, okay, this says, Fame Arcade says, there will be blood. Hierro Negro says, I want everyone to die. Damn, bro, like, chill out. You're kind of intense. Like, damn. Let's see. Iron Throne. Shout out to Iron Throne on Twitter. If you guys don't follow me and Amelia on Twitter, you should definitely follow us. Let's see.
I don't do anything on Twitter.
All right, so then just follow me.
But you can follow me.
All right, let's see. He says, save them all. Let's see. JW Flux says, JW Flux. I ain't say the other, just in case, because recently they've been flagging the hell out of YouTube videos and channels overall. So let's see. Hell yeah, big fight in King's Landing. I definitely think we might possibly see Clegane Ball this season. Sandy Stark says, agree, Amelia. Visions. He wants visions. Let's see. Marie says also she wants visions. Everyone, check out Marie Hill's channel. She has awesome videos and awesome theories as well. You should definitely, if you're a fan of my channel, you would definitely be a fan of Marie's channel. So check her out. Game of Theories with Marie. Let's see. Let's see. Everybody's showing had to get me some pizza. That's the one true David Adams. Shout out to the one true David Adams with the pizza. Amelia, do you have any thoughts on pizza?
Oh, now, if anybody knows me on Facebook, they know that I love pizza. It's nobody's business.
It's funny. The other day, Kyle said, like, he was live, I think, on Gemma, on Secrets of the Citadel's channel. He was like, every time he talks to me, he thinks about pizza. I'm like, he must be thinking about Amelia, and by association, he thinks about me. Because I was like, I'm not really pizza. Like, I know that's Amelia. Like, Amelia goes hard for her pizza. Like, she loves pizza.
And I do like Fame. I do like pineapple on my pizza. Yes.
Ugh. What's wrong with you?
I eat pizza all the time.
Pineapple pizza?
I have pizza right now down in the fridge.
I definitely do not mess with pizza. I mean, pizza with pineapple. Like, it's too sweet. It kind of throws.
No,
me
you
off.
get a pineapple with green peppers and onions, extra cheese, extra sauce. I like cheese pizza. You know what I really want somebody to come out with? Like Papa John's has that cheeseburger pizza, and I'm not into all that. I mean, and they put pickles on it. I want somebody to come out with a taco pizza, because I also love Mexican.
Taco pizza?
And I think that taco pizza would be the most amazing. I mean, you can get one at California Pizza Kitchen, but I need one delivered to me, right? Taco pizza in my life. I could die happy. I would die happy in a pizza coma.
Yo, what you call it? In the theater that I work, there was a play, right? And there was like this whole thing, and the actors who worked there, they did this thing. It was like, at first I was like, it looked freakish, but then it looked really delicious when they showed me the photos. They would go to Chipotle and they would get the veggies, the vegetables, whatever, like a plate full of vegetables, and then they would buy a whole pie of dollar pizza, and they would just pour the vegetables, the veggies from Chipotle on the dollar pizza. It freaking looked great. I didn't get to eat it, but if anyone is ever trying to invent something or test something out, I heard it's delicious. So just had to put that out there in the world.
People are dogging me about my taco pizza. If you've ever been to California Pizza Kitchen, they have a taco pizza. You wouldn't use a red sauce or a marinara sauce, but I mean, they're there, people. You just need to open up your mind to it.
I mean, it's funny how we just went to food, but I mean, food is life, man. Food is banging. If you see these cheeks of mine, it's because I love eating. You know what I mean? I can't help it.
Right.
But
How many of my Facebook posts are about pizza?
a lot. If anybody has Amelia on Facebook, there are a lot of pizza posts there.
Yeah, she loves pizza.
I see that Kelly is a big Chipotle fan. I mean, I love Chipotle, but Chipotle kind of, went off the rails for me with the whole E. coli scare thing. Like, a lot of E. coli was, so I kind of stopped, like, for a whole year eating it. But I ate like 3 days ago, I ate some Chipotle. So, it is what it is, but.
Chipotle.
Did you see Iron Trone's comment on he said E. coli is free with purchase.
Hey, we're talking about pizza. Just let that sink in for a second. This place is awesome. I love you guys. Please don't ever die. We won't. I mean, eventually we will, but
I mean, I don't know. It's funny. David Adams said, doing a food review, I'd love to see some food on your channel. I'm thinking about doing like a more vlogging thing, and this is the perfect segue to bring it up with you guys because, I have Marie Hill and I have some other people in the chat who have donated to the channel, and I wanted to show you guys. I was talking to Amelia about this. So recently, I know you guys have been giving me a lot of super chats, and I haven't gotten all the money because it's like, the way that YouTube split it up. So I'll continue to keep doing purchases for the channel. But I actually have bought some stuff for the channel. One, I bought this this U thing. This is basically to mount the camera here. I could mount the microphone, my camera, and I could go out into the street and actually film really dope stuff for you guys. Like maybe even conventions. Oh, wait. I have you highlighted, and I'm saying all of this. So let me highlight myself.
Oh, yeah.
That was goofy of me. But,
hey, I'm going to go, do that thing I do that you don't like me to talk about. I'll do that.
Yeah. All right, cool. But I have some stuff, guys, that I wanted to update you guys on the channel while you guys are here. I wanted to talk about this because a lot of you guys do donate to the channel. I purchased this. This personally is like you mount your microphone, your lighting, and all that stuff here, and you could go out and record stuff. I know that a lot of you guys really enjoyed watching me do that in the previous video that I did, the vlog, like the little reaction that I did to the trailer. So that will be, this is something also that I purchased. Basically, this is a Rode mic. This is a video mic from Rode. I bought this. This actually cost like $150, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who actually, donated to the channel, because without you guys, I would not be able to do this. This is actually going to be going, like I said, to other videos that I'm going to be doing, where I can actually go and interact with people on the street. If I go to any convention or anything like that, I can actually go out and film stuff. These things are extremely expensive. So thank you guys for donating for that. And again, like you see this here, it's a very nice setup. I'll probably make another video on it, just updating you guys on it. But I just wanted to show you guys that whatever you guys do give for the channel, I do actually reinvest in it. And, I wanted to show you guys that when you guys invest in the channel, this is for you at the end of the day. So thank you again to everybody, Marie Hill, Aaron, and just everybody. Like off the top of my head, I probably will forget like a bunch. So thank you again, for everybody. This is how it's gonna look. You mount it. You can actually do interviews with all this stuff. So thank you again, and I promise to have awesome content for you guys. And just not in my house, but maybe even Game of Thrones skits, Game of Thrones pranks, Game of Thrones, all this other stuff. So thank you again to everybody. All right, so we have a call here. Let me see. I don't know who this is. Hi, who is this? Hi, who is this? Oh, wait, let me put you on speakerphone, because now I had to vent it. I had a weird call there. So, hey guys, we have a treat. We have another YouTuber who is very, very much well known in the community. He's like, you know, in everybody's chat. He's a pop figure god. And first off, I want to say thank you, because due to BBM, I was able to, you know, get my mountain pop figure. So this is BBM. That was you that called earlier? I don't know. That was a weird call that I got earlier. All right, so yeah, that was BBM. That was weird. Shout out to BBM. Thanks for calling. I guess if you'll probably call, we'll pick it up again. But we have Amelia back. Let me see.
Yeah.
So let's give some shout outs to everyone in the chat.
My washer and dryer has not been delivered yet.
Oh, really? That's funny because we were thinking about that. We were like all going crazy over it. What you call it? Like, the reason that we started the stream so early is because we have crazy stuff to do tonight, so we weren't going to be able to go live tonight. So let's give some shout outs, everyone. Let's see. Gloria Brown, shout out to Gloria Brown, a longtime follower of the channel. Sam the narrator, Kelly, again, Fame Arcade, BBM. Okay, that wasn't BBM, so I don't know who the hell was calling. So we probably won't take more phone calls for today, because there seems to be like a little troll out there. It's crazy how sometimes people ruin good things. But Lola Dixie, shout out to Lola Dixie, SMH down. Let's see, SM down. Let's see, and shout out to everybody in the chat. I guess that wasn't.
Did you say Sandy Stark? Logan.
You can give shout outs if you see somebody that I didn't mention. It's like my computer is like on the.
I don't know. You say them so fast, so.
Sandy
Stark.
Shout out to Smokahontas, who is
Rod with Salad. Kelly. Everybody.
Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody in the chat. And again,
you get pizza, and you get pizza, and you get pizza, and everybody gets pizza.
Everybody gets pizza on Amelia. You can follow her on her Instagram, and you can claim your pizza through her Instagram.
Yeah.
Nah, but what you call it? If you guys don't, you guys should definitely follow me on Insta. I'm not really posting stuff on Instagram. I don't really post like that on Instagram, but it's also Rayz the Alba. You could also follow me on Facebook. Link in the description down below. You could also follow me on Twitter, which I use kind of to like say my little weird Game of Thrones thoughts on there. It's always tends to be funny. I kind of like it. I've been using it a little bit more often now. Oh, all right. Let's see. Participants. Oh, I did. Yo, just Fame Arcade just put us on to the official way we are going to be doing shoutouts from now on. Like, I didn't even know that. We have BBM, Eduardo Blanco, Fame Arcade, Game of Theories with Marie. Check her channel out. We have Gloria Brown, Hierro Negro. We have Icy Spots. Let's see, Iron Throne. Follow Iron Throne on Twitter. He's a main man in the community. JW Flux, Kelly, Lola Dixie, Peter Griffin, Rod Wasalad. Let's see, Sam Foggin, Sam the Narrator, Sandy Stark, SMH Down, Smokahontas. All of you, thank you guys for joining. I didn't know that you could actually just see the participants.
You learn something new every day.
I know, right? And
don't you?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Fame Arcade for putting us on to that. So before we head out, Amelia, what are you?
Can I ask one question?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm using a new camera. I went and bought 2 weeks ago when I was on. I rewatched the live stream, and I told Ray, I said, Ray, you should have just kicked me off. I was so embarrassed by how bad it was. We also realized that at the old house, the internet was running so slow. But I bought a new camera, so I want to know in the comments, does it look better? Does it sound okay? And when the internet was installed on Tuesday in the new house, I had them triple it.
I mean,
issues with Google Hangouts, but is it better? let me know.
We were trying with Skype, and it looked awesome with Skype. It was banging with Skype. It was like HD crisp, and we're going to try to get it to work with that. But I just wanted to say, guys, also that we will be going live still, even during the long night. And it is going to be a very long night, it seems, because we're only going to get 6 episodes next year, possibly next year, optimistically speaking. And it is going to be insane. Like, you know what I mean? I think it's going to be... But we will have, like, special guests during the off-season. We're going to be talking about predictions and awesome, cool stuff for next season. So, thanks again, guys, for joining us. Do you have any thoughts, Amelia, before we head out, besides that?
Just enjoy tomorrow's episode, and we're going to get through the long night. We're going to get through it together. And maybe we'll do some, Ray and I'll come on and do some reviews if you all are interested, because you're waiting to watch The Defenders, right?
No, I watched it. I watched that in like 2 days.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I'm waiting, but I've been busy, really busy. But episode, have a great weekend. Enjoy your pizza. I'm going to go eat some food now, and we will see you next weekend. Place.
Oh man. Before we head out,
big or go home.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, thank you guys for, again, all the support throughout this season. It was a bunch of fun. It was really dope. I personally really enjoyed it. I know that Amelia did, because this is something that me and Amelia have basically been doing for a year now. So we've been here.
This is 2 seasons.
No, I mean, yeah, but I mean,
seasons.
It's been like a year, like maybe like a year and a couple of months that we've been doing this. So, like a full, complete year. You know, full, like from season to season, let's say it's a year. And it's been awesome. Like, it's been, like, really cool. We will continue to do so. We'll continue doing these streams. And, like I said, guys, it's always a true pleasure. Hope to see you guys next week. I will be having my stream next week. I won't be having a stream, like, you know, because tomorrow's the finale. So, next Saturday, hope to see you guys there. We will be going live at maybe even 6, maybe a little bit longer, maybe some other guests. I don't know. But I hope to see you guys there. As always, guys, it's a true pleasure. My name is Ray, and peace.